Good morning. Nikki Burnett here, Taste Life Nutrition. This is Taste Life Nutrition Radio, streaming live on KUHSdenver.com, where we bring on, in my opinion, some of the coolest guests doing the coolest things, bringing their gifts and services to, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, it gets a little bit loud, but bringing their gifts and services to the world, people who are out there lifting up others, who are building and creating, whether it's building others up or creating healthy foods like today. Today is going to be super delicious, and I'm super excited about it because I'm a nerd. I love food. I love good, healthy food, and I love people who want to bring good, healthy food to the masses, and people who are also kicking tail as entrepreneurs. And I say this all the time, but I believe today everybody we've had on is an entrepreneur, which was not the goal of the show, but it is what the show is at this point. We are health and wellness entrepreneurs. Health and wellness encompasses life, relationships, finances, spirituality, physical health, mental and emotional health. It's really, really broad, which I love because there's so many people out there doing great things, and I want to bring those people to you. So today we have Elevated Oats, which is this amazing, cool granola company, right? Good, healthy granola. We have Megan Militello. I always don't want to say that right, so I have to Militello. And then we have Lacey Hernandez, both the founders of Elevated Oats. Like I said, a delicious, healthy, nutritious, nutrient-dense granola company. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. I'm so excited to have you here. Finally, it seems like it's been forever.
I don't even know. Yeah, when did we do that pre-meeting?
I don't know. It's been months ago, though. It's been a really long time ago. So I'm just glad to have you on. And so, as always, we start the show with gratitude. Gratitude can change the world in positive ways. It can lift us up. If we're feeling down, it can help us to see the good in life, and we need to do that every day. And so I think I'm going to start with Lacey first. It's always a little bit interesting having more than one person on Zoom because Zoom gets a little wonky. But I think I'll start with Lacey first because you're sitting there right next to me. Lacey, what is it that you're grateful for today?
Oh, today I am just so thankful for my chosen family. My husband, my son, Megan, and her family have just accepted me in.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that. It is nice to have, family can truly be expansive. It doesn't have to be blood. It can be the people who surround you, who lift you up and are, they're your family. So that's amazing. Good for you. Very cool. All right, Megan.
I am so grateful for the long, sunny day ahead. Because I got to say that it was a long winter in Alaska. It was a very long winter. So these days have been extremely nice, waking up at 6 a.m. and the sun's already out, and then you're going to bed, the sun's still out.
Yeah. I would love to visit Alaska. I've never been. But I have heard stories about the days of no sun, and I might lose my mind a little bit.
It's not easy.
Yeah. How long have you been there?
I'm approaching 3 years. 3 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume, though, that you love it.
I do. It's funny because I always would say that I'm never going to live in Alaska. I came to visit for a month. It was in March, probably the same time that Lacey was just here. It's kind of the worst time. It's during meltdown, so everything is melting. There's trash everywhere because we just uncovered now, and the dust is really bad on the roads. So it's definitely a tough time. And I was I will never live here. And then life happened, and now I'm here, and I absolutely love it. You just have to it's what you make of it, right? And that's anywhere you're at.
Yeah. Very cool. I love that. And so, Lacey, you're about to move closer to Alaska, so y'all can actually have a little more work time with each other instead of virtual work time, right?
Yeah, right now I live in North Carolina. My husband's still in the military, and he recently just got orders to go to Tacoma. So I'll be on the West Coast. Woo!
Awesome, so much fun. So cool. I want to dig in because one of the best things about entrepreneurs, in my mind, is the story that they have, and what brought them to the place that they are. Because usually it's a story or multiple stories, right, that we can all learn from. And I love that, and I love it when, and this is for myself, but when I can look back at my own journey, and as hard as it was and could still be, I can look back and I know, okay, that was the reason for all of this, and it's good, and I'm okay with it, and I'm happy for it, right? We can be happy for the hard stuff, even when it really, really sucks, right? And so I think I want, I don't know which one. I'll just go with Lacey again, I suppose. Sorry. I want you to really quick explain, before we get into the nitty gritty of Elevated Oats, explain what Elevated Oats is, and then talk about your story. Or if it needs to be switched, if it matters, you know, you do you.
Okay. So we're obviously a granola manufacturing company. We use fruits and vegetables as our second ingredient. We're tailored toward the outdoor recreational millennial, and I'll give it to Megan to tell the story.
Well, you know, it's so interesting because you can have an idea, but that's just one part of the equation. And my life kind of fell apart and didn't realize, you know, things just kind of happened out of nowhere. My husband had a psychotic break. I was living in Hawaii. We had a lot of land, was trying to work in towards being an entrepreneur and living a different life. But then all of this stuff happened. So my refuge was in Alaska, and I didn't want to go back to doing what I was doing. And I happened to talk to Lacey before this whole thing happened about a logo for a health coaching business, because Lacey and I met in 2007 in Iraq. Actually, we were both in the Army together. We were both air traffic controllers. And so I had heard that she was doing school for graphic design. I'm like, hey, I need this logo. And we had always been good friends, but it's like one of those friendships where life just takes you in your own direction. And so it would be like these random calls here and there, but the logo was one thing, which she never did anything about, which is fine. So then life changed, and came to Alaska, and I'm like, hey, I need another logo. I want this one for this granola thing. And then it just kind of propelled into us reconnecting, and I was in this dark spot, and she had her own things going on, which she'll explain her story. And it just kind of fell into, this is how I can heal myself and like help others also, like with living that wellness life, because it's not just one thing. I always thought it was just like working out, that's all I was doing. I wasn't doing the other aspects of it. So this really showed me the balance, and just kind of transitioned into, hey, now it's the whole thing that we do every day.
Yeah. I love that, and I think it's so important, and it's a good lesson to be learned. Is health is not, well, it's not one thing. It's very holistic, and if you're not addressing the other things, then the one thing that you are addressing can still fall apart. If you are working out, but you're not eating well, and you're not, you know, decreasing stress, and you're not sleeping well, what's going to happen? Well, you're probably not going to build muscle. You're probably going to gain weight. That's not muscle. It's all of these things that can happen. The body can still fall apart. The body is still depleted. And so taking that into account, and it's not that everybody has to do everything all day long, all the time, because it's not the intent that it gets overwhelming, but it's the intent to start to create the baby steps that lead to the big steps. And obviously one of those important ones is food, and making sure that when you're out there and looking at the food that you're going to put in your body, you're looking at the ingredients and you're making sure that it is whole, it's nutrient dense, it's low in sugar, it's going to fill you, it's going to feed you, and it's going to allow your body to function properly. And I'll get off my soapbox now, but you got to throw it out there.
Definitely. It's definitely been an important part of this, and I think that, for us, it turned into a whole thing with mental health, and how much nutrition really does affect that too.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And I learned a lot of that from Lacey. I would say that, like, we helped each other in that way. Definitely.
Yeah, totally. Like she said, I was going through my own personal things when we first reconnected, and me and my husband were going through a nasty child custody battle with his ex-wife, and I was getting out of the military. I was sexually assaulted in the military, so I was like dealing with the mental health aspect of this, and like for the first time, like kind of relaxing after being out of the military and like fight or flight mode from my childhood. I sank into this deep depression, and my diet was definitely not any better, like helping, because I was just consuming soda. Like literally just consuming soda. and so when Megan and I reconnected, it was like just this awesome combination of, hey, you're good at this and I'm good at this, and we're kind of both healing in our own ways. And when we brought the two together, we realized fully, like, it is holistic. It's the whole package. Like, we're trying to do it just with one piece of the equation, and really we need everything.
Yeah. It's interesting. And so first off, we love our military, and we're so grateful for the two of you. And one of the things that you said was the trauma from your childhood, and I can only imagine, because I've never been in the military, the not only the trauma that you experienced, which I can't imagine that as well, but just just being in that situation for anyone, the constant fight or flight place that you're in, and then being in Iraq, and it gives me chills to even think about it. And I just want to say how grateful I am that that you two would go, I was going to say go out of your way. I mean, like, go way out of your way to do something like that. I think it's amazing. It's such a joy to have you on. And, so when I put all of these things together in my head, I'm thinking of, if I were talking to my clients, the trauma, the constant stress, which, obviously it's this consistent elevation of cortisol, which it breaks down the body, and it's going to affect us neurologically, and it's going to affect our hormones, and it's going to affect our neurotransmitters, and it's going to affect every part of us. And you can get into, just as you said, these deep dark places. I'm assuming when you say you only were consuming soda that you just kind of weren't hungry, and it's just like, that's what it was. This is what I want to do, and that's all I really care about. Because I assume you would feel stuck, because that's what I hear, is feeling stuck. Yeah. And it's such a blessing when you find your way out. And what I'm hearing is it was the two of you coming together helped you both find your way out of that place of darkness. And it's just beautiful. It really is beautiful. And I just love it. And I think that I would hope that anybody who's listening, because it's not always easy to find your own way out of your dark place, right? It can be really difficult, because you're like, I don't know what to do, but start to seek. I don't even know how to say it, but if you don't want to be there, start to seek. Find somebody who can start to give you a little bit of a direction, somebody who you trust, because it's a really horrible place to be. But I would ask the question of both of you, where you are now, were there lessons for both of you, or either of you, or however that works, in coming out of it? And do you see the good, and I don't know if I would ask, would you do it again? Maybe I would ask that because of where you are. I don't really know. How would y'all want to answer that?
I think for me, I'm probably a little more heavy because I do suffer with the complex PTSDs. For me, it's kind of like the more I heal, the more I uncover, and I'm fully willing to accept that. So it's like it keeps coming, and I'm a little emotional because right now it's just kind of tough, you know, like living here and having a business there it's been mentally challenging thus far. But the other things, obviously, like I'm out moving my body, I'm eating healthier, I feel the healthiest I've been ever, and I'm the oldest I've been, obviously. So I can see all the great things that have come from it to allow me to get to this point of healing.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make it, okay.
You're fine.
This is what we talk about like all the time. This is the point. Like our whole thing is it's a lifestyle. It's not, for us, it's not just about granola. Like it is about living a better lifestyle, like in all aspects, so that we can be better.
Awesome.
Just ourselves.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so I want to dig in a little bit, I think, into kind of, I mean, and we might have hit it, but I feel like I want to dig more into your mission. So your mission, you talk about, you know, living the full lifestyle, you know, and I went to your website and you have it, you know, kind of all around your website, and I love that. What is your mission? How do you want to accomplish your mission? How are you trying to reach people with your mission? All of the things.
Lacey, give them the mission.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
sorry,
I should verbatim. I'm sorry, my air traffic controller's is like taking over. It wants me to say it for me.
Just the quick line.
Well, we want to embolden the consumer to make healthier choices, to for the whole mind, body, soul aspect of it. We want to elevate your life just like we did ours.
Yeah, we want to do granola. We do granola that does life.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, we do granola that does
That's
life.
what you wanted me to say?
That's what I wanted you to say.
Teaching moment.
Darn it.
She's like, oh man, that wasn't in the book.
That's what I always say though.
I know. But yeah, we really want to, like, it's all about doing life, like living the way that you choose to live, you know, like what are the things that light you up?
Yeah.
Because we all have something different, and it's not about just like fitting into this form of this is the way that it's supposed to be done, which we learned is not necessarily the way.
Right.
I like to say that I'm a recovering, suffering people pleaser. And
Yep.
so I want to spread that message, like say yes to you, like fill your own cup first, like learn those boundaries. So, you know, stop shooting on yourself, like Megan likes to say a lot.
Yep. Yep. It's true, and we all do it. And I think especially as entrepreneurs, and especially as the pleasers, and sometimes it's what trips us up. You know, we get in our own way. You know, oh man, the shitting. I should myself all the time, and I think I'm getting better. I don't really know, but it's a hard one, but it's the hard one that maybe can make you so heavy if you just keep shitting yourself, right?
I just had a conversation with my dad, and he was in Vegas with some family. It was like my aunt, my grandmother, and someone else, and they were all at a table. And he said, I was just listening to them, and I said, man, are you guys gonna go do something? Because all you're doing is shitting on each other. They was all like, oh, you should do this, you should do this, well, you should do this. He's like, are you guys gonna do something?
It's amazing. Oh, it's so true. So, and I love your mission, because I have, my own mission is similar, right? It's, you know, I work with people who are dealing with things that really affect life, and they have big things to do, and it really is hard for them to do them, right? Because they don't feel good, or they've got the brain fog or the fatigue, or, you know, all of this, the symptoms that dis-ease, right? The term dis-ease can create. So the body can be in dis-ease, or we can have a disease, which is a cluster of symptoms. And when we have those, it holds us back. And I have been held back myself. I don't want to be held back. I don't want anybody else to be held back. I want people to be lifted and filled with life and with goodness, and I want them to consume good food, and I want them to consume goodness, and just be able to get out there and do what it is that they're put here to do. You know, we all are here for a purpose, and we're here for a reason, and we're here to learn lessons, and we're here to go through some hard shit, and we're here then to take that and share it and say, I'm going to take this and give it to you because I learned, and now you can learn from me and you don't have to go through it, right? And that's what my goal is to, I've had my own journey, and I can share what I've been through. And because of my own journey, because I was dealing with my own health issues, it taught me how to dig, how to be my own, how to have accountability for myself, how to find the people who I trust who can help guide me, how to really understand and learn how to research and dig into research and find out who's funding research, because that means it's not always good research. But it's that digging component that my own journey helped guide me through. And so now that's what I do for my clients. I'm like, just let's dig and let's learn. And part of that, I keep saying it because I want to always come back to what you're doing, but you've had your journey, and now you're lifting people and filling them up with good food. And it's a great thing. It's a good snack. It's good for travel. People ask me all the time, what can I eat when I'm traveling? Because it's hard, right? And it's almost always got to be, you got to take food with you. That's what I do. And so when it's convenient, that's what people need. They need convenience. Yeah. Cool.
And you asked us too about like how we're trying to spread this mission. Like we do some edutainment, right?
Oh, nice.
Stuff on our social media, but we also do group hikes every month just to get people outside together, create more of a community. Because a lot of people don't, especially here in Alaska, it's kind of scary to go out in the summer. You don't want to go out by yourself because of the bears and things like that. So it's nice to have a group together.
Yeah. That's amazing. Good for you. So are you kind of leading the group hikes? Is it your baby?
It's elevated Oats. This is what happened. Okay, we were in this accelerator program. This woman, Linda, she's the director. She's great. Also a veteran. She was like, hey, you guys should have a hike for us in G-Beta. We're like, okay, let's do a hike. And we made an event on Facebook, and we had this hike. A lot of people came. We were like, this is pretty cool. Let's just start doing it. So we started doing it every month. Now we do use it like a platform more. So we want to try to incorporate ways, maybe like donations. We can give them to Mount Sinai, which goes towards PTSD research for veterans and things like that. Yeah. So supporting a cause that we believe in. We're still trying to figure out how to make the hikes, like how to work it for us. But people really like it.
It'd be interesting to learn how you can kind of spread that. I guess you'd have to have people all over the place, but spread,
like chapters.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
That would be super cool.
You want to lead that Denver chapter?
Oh, geez. Let me think on that one. But I bet I know people who would.
Yeah. So. Just a hike once a month really is. We provide the snack, so it's not for us to sell anything. It's not for us to sell anything. We just want to have people get outside together. Yeah. Research shows that just 10 minutes outside improves your cognitive health.
Oh yeah, so, without a doubt. Yes.
Get outside. I'm excited to talk about this. I learned something new, and it was about bilateral stimulation and just walking, because it activates the left and right side of the body, reduces your stress as well. So there you go. That's what, like a self-EMDR type thing.
Nice.
I was gonna say, EMDR was created because this woman was walking on a street and like doing this looking back and forth thing, and that's, yeah, very interesting.
I didn't know that. How cool. Yeah, you know, there's the body is made to move. And when we don't move, that's when things, and a lot of things, but that's when things start to go wonky, you know, and we're living in this world now where we sit behind our computer all the time, so we're not moving, we're not getting outside. We have this insane fear of the sun, which drives me bonkers because the sun is life. You know, my it's not really a tagline, but one of the things I say is food is life, taste life, because my company's Taste Life Nutrition, right? And it's true, but without the sun, we don't have food. And it is literally what, you know, a huge part of what gives us life. It allows the body to work, and it frustrates me that people that, well, you know, the big organizations, whatever they are, but they go out there and tell you that the sun is bad and to cover your skin, we all need to wear sunscreen and we all need to wear hats, and the sun gives you skin cancer. But it drives me literally batty, because let's take a step back and let's have a little respect for the sun and understand that time in the sun is very important. It doesn't mean you spend hours in it, but it means that you spend time in the sun. You get a little bit pink, that's a good thing. But then you have the things that you slather on your body that these companies tell you is healthy, full of chemicals, to protect you from the sun. What is potentially and more likely creating cancer and the skin cancer and all these things is the chemicals, you know, and the lack of sun. So it's both, and so just get out in the sun. I mean, I get out. I literally, when it's warm outside and comfortable, and I keep having people ask me, why am I so tan? I don't burn, but it's because I spend probably anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes a day in the sun as often as I can. It's just...
Me too, girl.
Yeah. So it's my meditation. What'd you say?
No sunscreen.
No.
Don't get nose rays.
Well, actually, here's another thing, scientific fact here. The UVB rays is the ones that you need, and sunblock blocks those.
Yes.
So you can't, like, you need to be on the sun with nothing on for at least 20 minutes.
And with as few clothes as possible. And that's not to be weird, but you can't, if you have clothes on, you're not going to get the sun exposure. So I'm out, I put my tank top on, I put my little shorts on, and I'm like this. I'm like, just feed me.
Well, taking the sun into our granola.
Yeah, please.
The fun, cool thing, like, since we use veggies as the second ingredient, we like to use Alaskan grown veggies because the sun is out so long during the summertime. The vegetables don't have time to, like, tap into their reserved sugar, so they're actually 20% sweeter.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Well, so let's talk about that. Let's talk about the ingredients in your granola.
Totally.
You know what I mean, Lacey, Megan.
Okay. Well, so we have 4 flavors. Let me tell you about them.
Yeah.
We have 4 flavors, and I'm going to start with Salted Cocoa Crunch because it is our crunchiest. It does not have a fruit or vegetable. I am sorry, but it is vegan fully. Dairy-free, soy-free. There you go. And then the other 3 flavors, there's Cranberry Cashew Chew that has Alaskan grown beets as a second ingredient. And then there's Toasted Orange Amaretto that has Alaskan carrots as the second ingredient. And then there's Banana Nut Bread, not Alaskan bananas as the ingredient.
Not ever seen bananas in Alaska.
It'd be nice.
Yeah. So that was the original recipe, right? Was the banana. Yeah.
And that's because I was living in Hawaii
Yeah.
and had a banana patch and I didn't know what to do with bananas, and that was the only healthy thing that I could make out of all the things. So I came to Alaska with that, and then it was kind of like, you know, if this could be done with bananas, gotta be able to do it with other things, right?
Yeah.
Like beets, like carrots. We have a recipe where we did blueberries as the second ingredient. We're working on one right now with pineapple as the second ingredient.
We're dropping that June 1st on elevatedoats.com. Sorry, I had to get it in there.
Yeah. It's spicy granola. So if you have never tried that, let us blow your freaking mind, because it's not meant to just be don't put it on yogurt, please. That's weird. Just like eat it as a snack. But it's a habanero pineapple. Or do, yeah, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Yes. I would eat that up all day long.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. I love spicy, and I love spicy and sweet and salty. That sounds amazing. I can't.
It's a beautiful yellow color. It fits in our whole line. If you haven't seen them, we have a nice rainbow of granolas happening. So,
well, and that's one of the things that you talk about a lot, which is something that I talk about a lot, is the rainbow. Eating the rainbow and making sure you're getting those colors, because the colors are the phytonutrients, at least part of the phytonutrients, and it's a huge part of the antioxidants that we need for our body. Are your fruits and veggies, are they dried?
no, we get them from the farmers here, and then we process them and roast, like do a nice slow roast,
Okay.
and then puree them up and put it in the recipes.
Nice. That's so fun.
Yeah. So no powder, no nothing. It's real. These are real things that we're dealing with from farmers and stuff.
Yeah, straight from the farm. I love it. So I commented on this a little while ago, but I wanted to make sure that I tell everybody, and not just the two of you, because I think it's so important. When I'm working with clients, I'm always looking up the food that they're eating and looking for ingredients, because I think it's really important to truly understand the ingredients that are in food, especially if there's an ingredient list. People need to know what that list means, and especially some of these things that are touted as healthy, that I look at it and my heart breaks. And like, this is how people can, companies can how they have the audacity to say this is goodness for you. It just it makes me crazy. But what I find is it takes me forever to actually find the label. All I want is the label. And they might show me the nutrition label, and they might show me these are the superfoods, and they list out the superfoods, but they don't show easily the actual list of ingredients label, which is what I want to see. And half the time I just have to go to images. I have to look for images in order to find it, because you can't find it on the website. It's not easy, and it just makes me nuts. First thing I did when I went to your website is it's just what I do with everything, but I went to the ingredient, I went to the product, and there was a little link that said, find the list of ingredients here. And it showed me the label, the actual list of ingredients, which I was like, that was probably the easiest, quickest find in my own history. Yeah, so oh, go ahead.
That's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I did that.
Well, and I appreciate it. It makes such a huge difference when people want to know, and more people want to know what's in their food. We are, I say this a lot, but we have more information. We have all of this connectedness through. I mean, nobody can see it, but I've got just mics and all kinds of stuff all around me, right? We've got all of these electronics, and we're connected. We have this information. We have learned so much as a society, and as a as a society, but we still are sick and confused and unhealthy and overweight, and we don't understand food. We don't understand what it is that we need to do to balance our bodies. We don't know how to find the answers. And the goal in so many ways is to take it back to basics. Look at what's in your food. Look at, it is basic ingredients, and if you recognize them, you're probably okay. If you don't recognize them, then there's probably something that you want to stay away from. And so what we see, of course, in your list of ingredients is basic, nutrient-rich food.
I like to say that it's literally it's just an at-home recipe. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a food scientist. I just like food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Like good food. And that was really the thing, was giving people a better option, because what do we have as options out there as consumers? Like, you go to the grocery store, you do have to read all the labels and read all the things that are in every box or something. Like, you can tell someone, hey, shop on the outside of the edge of the grocery store, try to reduce these things. You don't want to have to be looking at a box every time. But it is easy. It's easy to pick up those cookies. I got Oreos in my cabinet.
What? Stop it.
But it's like moderation, right? So it's like eating hummus and carrots for a snack too, and not just like always picking things that are not, don't have real things in there.
Yeah, yeah. Don't tell me you have Oreos again. I'm just kidding.
Oreos.
Oh, that's hilarious. I used to love Oreos. I haven't had an Oreo in many, many years, but
I don't think you sell Oreos in Canada anymore.
Really?
I don't think you can get it because of the ingredients. Yeah.
No way. Did you know that Oreos are vegan? I'm not lying.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're vegan. You could be an unhealthy vegan person.
Oh my gosh. There are a lot of vegans who are I would say probably most vegans are seriously unhealthy. I mean, there is if you don't do it properly, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago with one of my guests, but if you're not doing veganism properly, you are deficient. I mean, meat provides nutrients that other foods don't. Go ahead, Megan, were you going to say something?
Oh, no, I agree. I went vegan for a little bit, and it was years ago, but when I did that, I was like, oh, I want to see how I feel. And I kind of was doing the fake cheese thing and just the substitutes. And I would say my diet is way better now. And now I would say like plant-based, like eat raw with your stuff. And it's okay to have a little bit of meat. I just don't like red meat so much because of how it makes me feel. All about paying attention, right, to the body.
Well, yeah, and it's another issue I'd say that we have as a society is we don't pay attention to how we feel, and we don't. And when we do feel bad, we take an antacid, or we take an Advil, or we take something that's going to cover it up, and we don't sit there and take a step back and say, I wonder what it is that's causing this problem that I'm having, instead of let's just cover it up and keep going. The body is always speaking to us and trying to tell us what's going on. And that's what I always say with symptoms and with dis-ease or disease, take it however you want, but and I do this a lot, so forgive me, but it's true. But it's the body knocking on your door going, hey, I can't do this on my own anymore. I need you to jump in, and I need you to give me some help because I'm having issues. And once this happens, the likelihood of it just clearing up on its own is pretty low. And so this, taking that step back, going back to basics, listening to your body, listening to what it needs. If you want to be vegan, it's fine, but do it properly. and there are a lot of junk food vegans out there doing just what you did. Doing the fake foods and the box foods. Well, it's vegan and it doesn't have any dairy or eggs or meat in it, so it's healthy. The same with gluten-free. Just being gluten-free doesn't mean it's healthy. I think gluten-free is important for a lot of people, but it doesn't mean that it's healthy. Real food. That's really what it just comes down to. And I love plant-based. I think I don't do a lot of blanket statements, but I think plant-based is really the goal for most everyone, except for maybe some of the tribes in Alaska. I know that that's not necessarily the case.
Feasible.
But, right, exactly. But we are intended to eat lots of vegetables, some fruit, some meat, some fat. I mean, that's pretty basic, So, let's see. Was I gonna say something else? I think that was it when it comes to the ingredients. I love that you have veggies and that it's easy to find. Who comes up with the recipes?
Well, I would say that was me in the beginning, but now it's definitely a team effort when we do our test flavors. It's like everybody has different experience and different things that they like, so we all bring something different to the table, which is really nice. We actually had this idea for the next recipe. We want to do like a chop style thing with all of our people with their ideas. So it's like, okay, you come up with your recipe for this, you come up with yours, and you come up with yours, and then we're all going to just try it.
Nice.
Just to make it, just to kind of see, because we all have something to bring to the table.
Cool.
Yeah.
How many people are on your team?
Oh, like 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. We I would say right now we're sitting at 3 full-time people that are doing majority of our stuff.
Yeah.
To make it look good fun.
Cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that. So I forget sometimes that I have to take a break. So I'm just going to take a really quick break and talk about our sponsor, because we have like the most amazing sponsor in the world, by the way. So Cellcore Biosciences is our sponsor. They are a supplement company who is probably one of the most innovative supplement companies that I've come across. There's some really, really good ones out there, and I'm a huge, huge fan of Cellcore. They bring to the table a unique delivery system that allows for the nutrients and for the herbs and the things, the components of the supplements to get deep, deep, deep into the cell. They are truly getting to the foundation of health. And, you know, when I talk about what I do, I am a root cause practitioner. My goal is not to cover up with supplements. My goal is not to just tell you to give up gluten and be on your way. My goal is to understand at the deepest level possible what is going on with the body and why it's functioning as it is and why it's maybe not functioning well as it is. And we do it through lab testing and through understanding all of the things that we can about the body. But then when you have a company like Cellcore who has the best interest at heart for the clients and patients out there, for the practitioners who use their products, it's truly a magical partnership, because you see when you're working with clients, you see the life changes that can happen when you're using these products, and it's pretty incredible stuff. So I'm excited about it. I'm just really blessed to have them as one of our sponsors. And you can only get it through practitioners, so know that you can't just go buy it anywhere. They're really strong. They're not products that you just take willy-nilly. I do a lot of things willy-nilly, but not supplements. Not my work. So anyway, you can find a practitioner who uses their products, but they will want to dig into your history in order to use the products properly. So of course I use them. You can always reach out to me if that's something that you'd like to discuss. The uses are endless. So whatever you're dealing with, there is a protocol or a way to use these supplements that can be beneficial. And I'm super stoked about everything that they have. It's good stuff. I need to do an order through them soon. So anyway, so let's get back to it. Let's talk about when we reconnected a week or so ago. You were talking about how busy you've been. So why don't you tell everybody why you've been so busy?
We're about to get into all the Walmarts throughout Alaska.
Woo! Yeah, that's huge, yeah?
This is just step 1. No, I mean, this is probably step 1 million and whatever, but this is a big milestone for us. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, just the thought of, when you talk to people and you tell them, hey, we have this company, and they're like, oh, where are you at? And you get to say, I'm at Walmart. It's like adding it to your resume. Like, yes. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows Walmart. It's the truth.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. How exciting. I love that.
Exciting.
Yeah.
So we're not even 3 years old yet. We just hit our 2-year mark for wholesale distribution, which is awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. And so next steps?
cars, Fred Meyer, more of Alaska.
Yeah.
Get them off of the shelf. Because it's like getting it on the shelf is one thing,
Yeah.
now it has to get off of the shelf too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So I think I asked you this, but I want to ask you because I feel like others might have the same question. But once you're in a a huge store like that in one state, so is this like a trial run for Walmart? Is that kind of what it is?
Great question.
Mm-hmm.
Great question. I'm sure they can use that data, and we can use that data too. We're like, hey, this is how much we're selling at this place or whatever when we go to new vendors. But we're going to be in the souvenir section, so it's the Made in Alaska section.
Oh, cool.
We're going to have us, so we'll be in all the Walmarts in Alaska in the souvenir section. I would love to, though, because it's all about connecting. So now we know the buyer for this section. Maybe she can direct us to the buyer for the other things. But they're going to have us until August also like in the grocery section for this summer, which is great. Great way to put the product. Yeah. And then we're going to be going and doing demos there and showing people what Elevated Oats is all about.
Fun. Very cool. How exciting. So cool. And so on your website, I think we talked a little bit about this, but I feel like I want to hit on it a little bit more, only because I think it's so important. And so I listed these out, and again, we did talk about them, but it's championing mental health, getting outside in nature, raising each other up, always be learning and growing, and eating the rainbow. And I think that all of those are beautiful and super important. So I'm curious though, when you say championing mental health, we already know your history, but what are you doing things are you doing more? Does that make sense? Is that
Yeah, great question.
Yeah. not well put, but
yeah, so we've talked about it a little bit. We do the monthly hikes, and then we try to educate on the fact about getting outside, and also, the whole mind, body, soul aspect of it. But also, we have, for Veterans Day, both years that we've been alive, I guess you could say, we donate a portion of our proceeds of the sales for Veterans Day to Mount Sinai, which is a veterans and a civilian research center for the alternative treatments for PTSD and
alternative
anxiety.
Okay, that I didn't understand. Okay, so very cool. Very cool. Okay.
I don't even know what I said before now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, you said that, but it wasn't the alternative, which is interesting because,
Yes.
Really, is that not the goal for many of us? It's not that, drugs aren't necessarily always the way to go. They are there for a reason. I'm not drugs are never good kind of person. I do believe that they're overused. And I do believe that there are other ways of dealing with PTSDs and the things that come with PTSD, other than just saying, here, take these drugs, take these drugs, take these drugs. Because I'm going to tell you just in practice, that's what I see all the time is, people come to me, nobody can figure out what's going on, I'm not sure what to do, and they just keep saying, take these drugs, take these drugs, take this over-the-counter drug, go get this, take this drug. And they're like, for one, I took them because I was told to take them and they didn't do anything, or they made me worse, or I don't want to take a bunch of drugs. I want to figure out what's going on, and I want to get to the root cause, and I want to address it. And so I appreciate so much that the research is based around what else can be done, to help people who are suffering. Because I live next door to a Green Beret, actually, and I still don't know a lot about the military, really, but I hear stories about his brothers in arms, right? And I just don't understand the PTSD. It's just rampant, is what I mean to say. It's freaking rampant, and it's heartbreaking, and it's really scary. It's hard to understand. It's all just hard for me to understand. That's all I know how to say.
Well, I think, let me just I think that most people in the military are probably high-functioning, complex trauma survivors.
Yeah.
And the military, because of that bilateral stimulation thing, like the marching and the running and the physical fitness, I think that helps keep them resilient. Keep us resilient.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think the second we get out and we can process what is going on and we stop moving our bodies so much, and we're trying to get a civilian job that's not moving around, I think it shocks our system.
Interesting.
Totally.
Yeah. Huh.
It's very hard transitioning. We've seen it with a lot of people that we've served with.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy, and I'm not gonna say like we're lucky, but like, you know, when you seek help, there are people that are willing to ask for help, and then there are people it's really hard. It's hard to ask for help, especially with these men that we've been in service with. Yeah, and we see a lot of people suffering.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, y'all are amazing. I'm grateful. Super grateful for all of that you're doing.
Yes, I think we start the conversation too, like that's a big part for mental health. Like a lot of people don't talk about it, and I know for me, that's kind of how it all started. I never talked about it. My family doesn't talk about it, like it's a hush-hush type of thing. And so coming into Elevated Oats, like Lacey and I, we have that conversation very candidly, and now it's like with everything, it's like, I'm just being triggered because of this thing. It's like something I have to grow through.
Yeah.
And you become self-aware, and you're learning and how you respond to other people and how like the past affected that. You know, it's all and being an entrepreneur, right? It's like this giant roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of, that's a double whammy. The entrepreneurship is it's definitely a ride for sure. Yeah. Well, we have to finish up a little bit early. Every other week we have to finish up a little bit early because we have someone else coming in who also does an amazing show. But I want to be sure that people know where to find you, how to find you. Are you offering anything? What do you want to share with everybody about? Well, more than what you've already shared.
Miss Lacey, please.
I think your mic stays. Sorry.
It's okay.
We ship nationwide. So you can buy us online at elevatedoats.com. Sign up for our email list because we push out all the information about hikes, if we're hiring, and also any new flavor drops, which our next one is June 1st. That's my birthday. Check it out.
That's the one.
Pineapple habanero, something like that.
Yeah. That's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah.
And you do have, I saw where it says try our original recipe. And is that just I didn't know if it was like a discount. I shouldn't say that on the air. I'm sorry.
We do have a coupon code when you sign up. You get 10% off your first order.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's what I was hoping for. Yeah.
We also have this really awesome sampler pack where you can try all the original 4 flavors. There's small bags of granola. It's perfect to just like have in your purse or whatever, but it's a great way to try all of our flavors and figure out like which ones you do like, so you can buy the bigger bags.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. All right, ladies, you're amazing. I'm so excited for you and for what's coming. I mean, it's a big deal. I can't wait to see you in my stores here. Yeah, so.
Thanks for having us, Nikki. It was great.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see you. We'll try to have you on again, especially when you're in Walmarts throughout the nation and you're super popular and everybody wants to know you better. So. All right. Thank you so much. And thanks, everybody. Nikki Burnett.